Can bankruptcy help you if your vehicle has already been repossessed and is being held in an impound yard? My name is Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm an Atlanta area personal bankruptcy attorney. I'm at Ginsberg Law Offices. We can be reached at 770-393-4985. And I've been representing clients in Chapter 7 and Chapter 13 bankruptcy for well over 25 years. So the question here is, what happens if the repo company's already picked up your vehicle, you wake up and you see your vehicle's gone? Is there anything you can do to get it back? Will bankruptcy help you at all? Well, many times bankruptcy can help you. There is a provision under the Chapter 13 type of bankruptcy, Chapter 13 being a repayment form of bankruptcy, designed more to repay bills as opposed to wipe them out, where you can ask for what they call turnover. You can ask the lender, using the power of the bankruptcy court, to return the vehicle for you. In exchange for that, you would agree, as part of your Chapter 13 repayment plan, to pay that lender at a certain rate. Doesn't always have to be the contract rate, but something close to the contract rate, and give them some assurance that their vehicle is going to get paid. And again, there's a lot of ways that you can do that under the bankruptcy law. And most lenders, if you've never had a repossession before, you've not been in bankruptcy before, they will be pretty much willing to cooperate. They're not going to fight it. They will turn the vehicle over. It may not be the next day, maybe a week or so later, but yes, they will turn the vehicle over. So I've filed many complaints for turnover. Sometimes I can do it with a phone call. Other times I've actually got to file the complaint for turnover, and we get in front of the judge and we work out a scenario where you can get your vehicle back even though it's been repossessed. And of course, you go into a Chapter 13, you would have to pay it back over time. You've got to maintain insurance on it. The other point here is that you could also, after a vehicle has been repossessed, you have the option of trying to get it back, but you also have the option of saying, you know what, I don't want the vehicle back. It's too expensive. The vehicle needs too many repairs. I don't want to get stuck with a big deficiency claim, meaning that if the vehicle sells at auction for less than what is owed on it, then you would be responsible for that difference. That's called a deficiency claim. You can also use bankruptcy to get rid of a deficiency claim. So even if the vehicle has been repossessed, you can say, yeah, you guys just keep it, sell it for whatever you sell it for. I'm done with it. You can use bankruptcy to do that. Now, the one scenario where bankruptcy will not help you is if the vehicle has already been sold at auction. Again, excepting cases of fraud and things like that. But generally speaking, when a lender repossesses the vehicle, they will hold it for a couple of days. They'll send you something called a 10-day letter, which is basically saying, we, the lender, are going to sell this vehicle at auction in 10 days, and you have the right to redeem it, paying the whole thing off, and so on and so forth under Georgia law. If you wait until after the vehicle has been sold at auction to a third-party, unrelated purchaser, then it's probably too late. Again, rare exceptions, but generally speaking, it's been too late. So my point here is, if your vehicle has been repossessed and you're still sort of within that 10-day period, you haven't gotten the letter yet, or you've gotten the letter, it's been a couple of days, pick up the phone, call a bankruptcy lawyer, and talk about your options. And again, you may choose to let it go, you may choose to try to get it back, but you want to have all those options at your fingertips. And as always, the best time to call a lawyer is before there's a huge problem. So obviously, it's better to call a bankruptcy lawyer like me, before the vehicle is repossessed. But if it is repossessed, call me as soon as you have a chance to call me, as opposed to waiting until day 9 after the 10-day letter has been sent, when you really don't have very many options. Because the best advice I can offer you is the most timely advice, and the more options you have, the better. Bankruptcy does give you a number of options, and obviously with every option in bankruptcy, there are strings attached. So you need to know what those strings are: the good, the bad, and the ugly. But we're here to help you. We don't charge at Ginsberg Law. We don't charge for phone calls, phone consultations, advice about that. We'll give you advice based on years and years of experience, what we think makes the most sense, and at least gives you some things to think about. And I always tell people, when you're thinking about bankruptcy, it's really a decision that you ought to just sleep on. You never want to make that decision just immediately, because decisions made under pressure, under haste, those usually are not the best decisions. So it's always a good idea to think about the whole bankruptcy option, but to learn, to educate yourself about how it works and what it would mean for you. And that's what we're here to do. I talk to a lot of people who don't end up filing bankruptcy, who don't end up filing, maybe they file 6 months later, 4 months later. That's fine. Again, we talk to people all the time, and generally speaking, I've seen it all. So for the most part, when somebody brings me a scenario, I can tell them pretty quickly what the options would be. I don't mind doing that. That's kind of what we do at our firm. And again, if we can be of assistance to you, we're happy to do so. So again, my name is Jonathan Ginsberg at Ginsberg Law Offices. You can reach me 770-393-4985. You can visit me online at Atlanta-bankruptcy-attorney.com, just like it sounds, Atlanta-bankruptcy-attorney.com. And again, if we can be of help, happy to do so. So I hope you don't need me, but if you do, we are here for you. Thanks a lot.